Happy New Year's, Georgia Democrats. Dontaye Carter here, candidate for first vice chair of the DPG. This past year, we experienced some incredible highs, but many of us, including myself, honestly, were haunted by the questions that lingered after November 8th. But what I'm so proud of is what we were able to do after that and ensuring that December 6th was going to be different. And it was, because despite how we were feeling, many of us stepped up and answered the call to ensure that Senator Warnock was reelected. That is worth us building on. I want to thank you all so much for picking up the phone, for listening to my plans, for sharing your concerns about where the party is and where you believe the party needs to go. For me, I believe that all of this starts with communication. We got to be able to communicate in a way where we're moving forward and bringing people along together. That's so important. Many of you know that I have a 4-year-old, and you'll see her most times out and about with me, and it's important to have her with me because I don't just believe leaders show up. I believe that leaders are raised up, and that's why I have 2 questions, and those 2 questions are: what does our party look like in 14 years for my little girl and that generation that's coming up with her? And right now, what are we doing to ensure that we're raising up those leaders to put them in the positions and the roles that we hold right now? For me, training is also a huge part of this. And so I wanted to put this video out at the top of the new year to talk about the things that I'm passionate about and what I want to get done in the first 100 days. And the first thing that I want to do is take a statewide tour. I understand that this first vice chair position is the fundraising arm of the party. It sits over top of the finance committee. But I believe to adequately know what money we need to raise and raise to be competitive, we also have to know what the needs and concerns are. I shared with you about my daughter because I wanted you to know where my heart is. My heart is about this little girl, for these kids that are coming up with her. But I also want you to know that you will have my ear, and it's important. And that's why I'm going to get out, and that's why I'm going to travel around the state. I'm going to do it, whether it's with a committee or whether it's by myself, because it's important. And I say by myself because we don't have the time. Right after this election, we're going to need to get to work. And so if I've got to be on that phone putting together committees and working to move things forward as I'm on the road and traveling around and listening to the concerns of chairs and congressional district chairs around the state, I'm willing to do that because it's important to me. It's important to me that we're getting this right, and everything that we want to do, it can be done, and it can be done in our lifetime. And I believe that. I truly believe that. And so I want to get out. One of the things that I really want to be also focused and attentive to is investing in technology. A lot of our county parties don't have websites, email addresses, and I want to make sure that we can start moving towards getting those things taken care of and done. And I also want to get it done in a uniform look. One of the things that I understand is, in order for us to move in the direction of being a one Georgia, we have to address the geographical diversity that makes up this beautiful state of Georgia. And I think it's important to make sure that we're addressing those differences, because I think the key component to getting to this unity part is acknowledging the diversity. And diversity is a beautiful thing, extremely beautiful thing. And so I want to get out across the state, from the mountains of Georgia, down to South Georgia, down to coastal Georgia, and have these deep conversations about what we can do as a party to ensure that our leaders have the resources needed to make that meaningful impact, because we can win these races. I'm looking at 2023 and I see the local seats that are very flippable and very winnable. And I see those state seats that are very flippable and very winnable. You know, we all know that in Senate District 11, we've got a Democrat down there who just threw her name in a hat to run, and that election is on January 31st. So we've got a lot of work to do, and I want you to know that I'm looking not only inside Metro Atlanta, but also outside, and I believe that we can get these things done, and I'm going to work each and every day towards making these things possible. That's something that I did as a North Fulton Dems chair. I have experience in organizing, and I'm going to keep doing it because I know that statewide these things matter. And so I want you to know that I'm here, I'm listening, and I'm open to any and all of your suggestions, because I think the first part of leading is being able to listen. And so if you all have any concerns or any things that you think, hey, I love where you're at, but I think this piece needs to be added as well, please send me an email at DontayeCarterPR@gmail.com. That's Dontaye, DonTaye, Carter, CarterPR@gmail.com. Thank you all so much for just listening to me share my heart a little bit and about the things I'm so passionate about. And thank you for dealing with these pictures behind me. I'm a big Marvel guy, so I've got a lot of Marvel pictures that I have hanging up here in my little media room. I'm a communications executive by professional trade, and so how we message is also going to be important for me, and making sure that we're connecting, that we're not so tied up on one singular message in Georgia, but we're speaking to the needs across our very diverse state. So thank you again so much for listening to me. My name is Dontaye Carter, candidate for first vice chair of DPG. Happy New Year, everyone.